Hello everybody, my name is KingStix, and today I want to talk to you about the 3 best jungle clears on Twitch Jungle, the only 3 you should be using if you actually want to win your games. Now the first one I'm going to be showing you is the best one by far. It's the one I use most often, and I find it to be the most effective and most safe. To do this specific clear, you have to be on blue side, so the bottom half of the map. It's best because you can get a leash from your bot lane, which Twitch desperately needs, and Twitch can't really start on his blue buff because that takes away his whole level 2 gank pressure. The way this path works is you get the leash on your red buff, then you're immediately gonna go mid. Now you don't normally smite your red buff, but since I didn't get a leash, I just went ahead and did it so I have the most health as possible. And now I'm gonna go mid and look for my gank. You actually want to go invisible before you exit this bush most of the time, because if they placed a ward over here expecting the gank, they'll see you, and as you can see, I'm still invisible for a long period of time. I have time to get all the way behind the enemy, and I'm already behind him. I was invisible the whole time. Even if he warded this area, he's now dead. This guy most likely is dead, especially if my teammate follows up and gets any sort of damage on him. And then I use E whenever he's out of range and he's dead. Okay, and then the next thing you do, we just ganked mid, he's dead. The enemy jungler most likely got a leash from their bot lane, which means now our safest bet is to walk right here, lay a ward over the wall, and move this way. By the time we get over here, the scuttle should have just spawned and we can start taking it. Most likely the enemy jungler will move to their red right about the time we're done finishing this. So right about the time the scuttle has this much health, the enemy jungler will be over here and then we can go kill them. I do this all the time, and you can usually just straight up solo them because you have red buff and they've used all their spells on it. So you would just come out and just simply, they'd be doing it, you'd come out, wait, and then you just start lighting them up, moving and shooting, moving and shooting. This is my favorite path because not only do you get the cheese mid, you get vision on their red, which helps to know if you're going to get counter jungled or you can counter jungle. Also, you are getting scuttle, so they can't counter jungle you, and while you're waiting, you're getting gold as well. Once again, the start is red, crossing over mid, warding their buff right here, then doing scuttle. If they don't show at their red, you don't have to come over here. If they don't even show, like if they're doing something else or a weird clear like blue, Gromp, wolves, and then they go bot or something weird, you don't have to come over here. If you don't see them on the mini map, the best thing you can do after you kill the scuttle is move onto your blue buff at that point, and then you can work from there. Then you can go top, mid, whatever. This second jungle path that I'm about to show you on Twitch is very dangerous. You risk losing this whole side of your jungle if you do it, so make sure you only do this jungle path if you have a high CC bot lane, like a Morgana, Thresh, Blitzcrank, Nautilus, something that has a whole lot of CC level 1. That way, when you come in for the cheese gank, you can make the most out of it. So for this second clear, once again, starting on your red buff, I'm not going to get a leash, so I'm just going to smite it so I don't lose too much health, because Twitch takes a lot of damage from his initial clear if he doesn't get a leash. So after red buff, we're going to run straight bot. Most likely, they're usually waiting in this bush and then they run out the lane. You wait, you go invisible. Caitlyn already has this pushed. Assuming my teammates were here, I'll just come up behind her, and now she's dead. She might actually kill me because she has minions and I don't have teammates, but in a normal game, she would have been dead here, and that's the point. Something you need to keep in mind, if you do this gank, a lot of times it will be a kill if your bot lane has a lot of CC. Even if this does go right, expect this part of your jungle to be completely wiped out, because as the enemy see you bot, the enemy jungler took this buff, got a leash, and he's over here now. So by the time you get the kill, he's over here and he can easily move over to your blue and take it, which is why I don't recommend doing this path unless your bot lane has a ridiculous amount of CC, because if you don't get a kill, this will put you really far behind. After you do get the kill, I recommend running up here, running straight from the lane to scuttle and taking this. That way you get vision. Also, after you're done taking the scuttle, you can just come gank enemy mid laner. Since your red buff is up, you can come up behind them and just light them up. Even if you don't get the kill, it's not too big of a deal. Then you can move on to your jungle over here. Just be careful depending on who the enemy jungler is. If it's someone like a Lee Sin or a Rengar, you need to be very careful. For example, I have 2 wards, so I'm going to ward right here. And if they're good, my blue buff should already be gone. If they're not good, I'll ward it. I'm like, oh, it's not gone. And then I can just drag it over here and take it safely. Alright guys, this is the third and final best clear on Twitch Jungle. This one only works if you're on the top side of the map and you need to start at your red buff. Preferably get a leash from your top laner. Even if you don't get a leash, it's not the end of the world. If you get too low on HP, you can just smite it. If you're good at kiting it, it should only take you 1 of your refillable potions to get up to a reasonable amount of HP. It's important though, whenever you do this, that you try to get vision before you do your buff. For example, you'd want to stand in a bush keeping watch because the enemies love to invade you whenever you are on this side. So after red buff, I'm going to run straight down to my blue buff. You want to do this especially if the enemy has someone like Lee Sin, Rengar, Evelynn, someone who wants to counter jungle you. I'm already invisible, moving quickly towards the plant. I pop in. I'm already on my blue buff. If they invaded it, they're dead now because I'm on top of them with red buff, plus blue buff is hitting them. Most likely, they didn't invade, and now I'm taking this very fast. Red straight to blue, kiting this around to the best of my ability. I'm going to use my E, and since I have red buff, it's even easier to kite, taking minimal damage. I still have a refillable potion, which I'm going to be using here in a moment. After killing this blue buff, I want to kill the Gromp for level 3. I'm going to kite it around. Gromp does do a lot of damage, which is why we saved our smite for this nasty thing. We're going to need to use our smite and our refillable. Bear in mind, if I had gotten Leash from my top laner, I'd have around 150 more HP. And now, the plant isn't over here because of the nerf, but right after Gromp, I'm already right here, and I can come in for a lane gank on the bot lane. They rarely expect it because I went straight from red to blue to Gromp. I got bot lane really fast, and the enemies almost never expect the speed of this gank, and I'm behind them. And it usually is a free kill, assuming my bot lane isn't already dead. This is a really safe jungle path to take whenever you are on the top side of the map. I highly recommend it. And yeah, that's it, guys. That was the best 3 Twitch jungle paths you can take. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you learned something. Don't do messy jungle paths. Don't try to take raptors on your first clear before you're even level 3. That's really, really bad. If you guys learned something and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Silence calls to me from the treetops of this world. A balance, feeling free. I'm a part of this place above, and I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally breathe. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally see. Floating away with you in the backseat of my car. We're timeless, sailing through, but tonight, no, we can't go far. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally breathe. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally see.